Good evening, I'm Tips Mahoy, and this is ArthIntel Evening Edition. Coming up, Washington state fires destroy hundreds of buildings and force Spokane-area residents to evacuate. Watch, Trump confirms Iran talks are back on after Iran denial and threats of biggest attack since World War II. Last chance for them to sign a good document. Romania blasts rock to divert water from drought-hit Danube to nuclear reactor. That plus a check of the weather across the country. Devastating wildfires around Spokane, Washington have destroyed roughly 700 buildings, with that number expected to rise, and forced evacuation orders for about 67,000 residents. Some returning residents found only chimneys left standing where their homes once stood. Fire officials say the blazes remain completely uncontained after burning about 12.5 square miles, and the cause is still under investigation. More than 1,000 firefighters, many from out of state, are battling the flames, a number expected to double in coming days, while the state's congressional delegation has asked President Trump to approve an expedited emergency declaration. President Trump confirmed Monday that talks with Iran are underway, calling it a last chance for Tehran to sign a good document. This comes after Iran had denied it was participating in negotiations, and after Trump said the strikes he called off would have been the biggest attack since World War II. Trump says the talks, prompted by requests from Iran backed by Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Qatar, will focus first on reopening the Strait of Hormuz, followed by a second phase addressing the denuclearization of Iran. He added that a U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports will continue until there is a deal or total surrender. Romanian naval forces detonated 180 kilograms of explosives in the Danube, blasting away a rock that was restricting water flow to the country's last working nuclear reactor at Cernavodă. Romania's defense minister, Radu Măruță, said keeping the plant running even a few more days would justify the cost of the operation. The drought crisis is also hitting neighboring Hungary, where the Pact's nuclear plant is running at less than half capacity, and according to Prime Minister Péter Magyar, could be fully shut down next week. Romania has declared a nationwide state of emergency for August after record-low Danube levels forced the reactor shutdown. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. President Trump is standing by his claim that vandals damaged the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, even after a Justice Department motion pinned the damage on a contractor's botched coating installation. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro's motion, filed to dismiss a felony charge against former Olympic canoeist David Hearn, cites a National Park Service engineer's email and a July inspection, both pointing to contractor error rather than vandalism. Trump wrote on Truth Social that he disagrees 100% with Pirro, insisting the major damage was caused by vandals, though the administration has not provided evidence supporting his claim of an extensive cut in the pool liner. Pirro's motion marks a reversal from her earlier July 2 press conference, when she said there was tremendous evidence of intentional damage. Education Secretary Linda McMahon is calling on American universities to reaffirm their commitment to national service by the end of the year, as the U.S. marks its 250th birthday. In an open letter to university presidents and boards, McMahon said trust in higher education has hit record lows, citing reports from Yale and other schools documenting politicization in the humanities and eroding academic standards. She's asking schools to address 7 topics, including admissions transparency and the free exchange of ideas on campus. The letter follows a Pew Research Center survey last year finding 70% of Americans believe higher education is moving in the wrong direction, up from 56% in 2020. Non-citizens were caught voting in New Jersey elections, an incident officials attributed to a clerical error. Senator Cory Booker addressed the case, saying, "Nothing in the SAVE Act would have prevented a clerical error as we've seen in New Jersey," a remark he made while defending his opposition to requiring proof of citizenship for voters. The article, citing Fox News, does not specify how many non-citizens were involved or how the error occurred, but critics say the incident raises election integrity concerns regardless of whether it affected any outcome. Republican Utah Senator John Curtis has introduced a bill, alongside Democratic Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, that would let states create their own migrant worker visa programs. According to the Deseret News, the measure also includes a possible pathway to legal residency for illegal immigrants who have been in the U.S. since December 31, 2016, requiring a background check and a $1,000 penalty. The bill, filed as S-5197, caps state visas at $5,000 per year with a shared pool of 245,000 additional visas, and states with high overstay rates would face financial penalties. Curtis says the bill addresses worker shortages, but conservative leaders have reportedly called similar GOP-led measures a betrayal to voters. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. A supervisory FBI special agent who worked in counterintelligence at the Bureau's Washington headquarters has been arrested, accused of stealing more than $1 million in cryptocurrency. According to an August 1st court filing in the Eastern District of Virginia, Patrick Stephen Yarmock turned himself in to colleagues, saying he dug crypto keys from FBI systems to make as many as a dozen transfers to himself from accounts tied to foreign individuals he had investigated. The filing states Yarmock, who held a top-secret security clearance, was suspended briefly before being fired and arrested on July 31st. He had previously worked for years in Boston, investigating what the filing calls an unnamed adversary nation. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. Yankees GM Brian Cashman says he remains optimistic Aaron Judge will return this season from the stress fracture in his rib, but admits he can't rule out the possibility he won't. Judge, who hasn't played since May 31, has yet to resume baseball activities, and Cashman says his status hinges on the next imaging of the rib, though he won't say when that scan will happen. Judge was hitting .275 with 16 home runs before the injury, which he suffered diving for a ball on April 26. To bolster an offense-missing Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Cody Bellinger, the Yankees acquired first baseman Luis Garcia Jr. and outfielder Heliot Ramos before Monday's trade deadline. Before Monday's trade deadline, Jacob deGrom made clear he wants to remain with the Texas Rangers. "I want to be here. I believe in this group," the two-time Cy Young winner said, addressing reports that at least one other club had approached the Rangers about his availability. deGrom, who holds a full no-trade clause, declined to detail whether Texas presented him with anything specific about a potential deal. The comments come as the Rangers enter Monday's game on a season-worst 5-game losing streak, having been swept in Houston and fallen 2.5 games behind the Astros in the AL West. ArthIntel Headline News is brought to you in part by Toolbox Development, AI web development and marketing. Learn more at toolboxdevelopment.net. We'll be right back. And finally, here's a look at temperatures across the country right now. It's hottest in Phoenix at 111 degrees, while Minot, ND, is the coolest spot on the board this evening at 59. That's ArthIntel Evening Edition for now, 10 stories coast to coast. I'm Tips Mahoy for ArthIntel Signal Over Noise. Don't miss our next broadcast. Like, subscribe, and enable notifications now. Find more in-depth reporting at arthintel.com.